You guys remember Ray Comfort, right? The Banana Man, famously. I decided to come back to this because I discovered a new video where he responded to people calling him an idiot for this video. This is like a televangelist, right-wing nutcase, if you're unfamiliar with Ray Comfort, explaining why he thinks God exists using a banana as a prop.
To believe the soda can happened by chance is to move into an intellectual free zone. It's to have an echo when you think. It's to have brain liposuction. Hold this, Kirk. Behold.
Yes, that is Kirk Cameron.
The atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm just like, I'm not going to make this sexual. I am not going to make this sexual. Go on.
2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top, so God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll
not gonna make this sexual. I will not. I refuse.
Find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations. Notice
the funny thing about this is he's using a banana to prove that God is real, when in fact, this is not what bananas look like in the wild. We did this. Human beings. We did this. We made the banana so perfect for human consumption with the way it tastes and its shape and the whole 9 yards. Bananas do not look like this or taste like this or anything in the wild. That's the bit. That is what makes this so fucking stupid.
How gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for the human mouth. It's chewy, easy to digest, and it's even curved toward the face to make the whole process so much easier.
Not gonna do it. I refuse to do it. I will not go low. Anyway, that's the banana video. Well, as it turns out, I didn't know this. He did a response to the outcry against that video about how stupid it was of a video. And it's basically in the form of a video titled The Fool. And it's got him with a Joker. This is his video. He did this in response. So I just want to kind of watch a little bit of his The Fool video here, see what he had to say. I watched a bit of a lead up to it, and basically, in response to the banana fiasco, I think this is 2001, he went to American Atheists Convention and spoke there in 2001. My wife is legal counsel now at American Atheists, fascinatingly. Anyway, he spoke there, and I just want to watch like just the very beginning of it here and see. It looks like he's holding a banana. I think it was 2001.
Please welcome our debate participants, Mr. Ray Comfort and Mr. Ron Barrier.
This is Ellen Johnson, the president of American Atheists. It's Good Friday back in 2001, and she's about to introduce me to 250 atheists at their national convention in Florida. So how did I get invited to speak to 250 atheists at their national convention? Well,
I've spoken at that convention, actually.
This is Ron Barrier. He was the national spokesman for American Atheists. He's the one who challenged me to a debate. But after I sent him a book that I'd written called God Doesn't Believe in Atheists, for some reason he pulled out of the debate. We'll pick it up from a news story. From the office of Ron Barrier.
I don't believe a word out of Ray Comfort's mouth. Be suspicious here.
Quote, yes, I did withdraw the invitation after I read his idiot book, God Doesn't Believe in Atheists. End of quote. After receiving a great deal of criticism from fellow atheists for withdrawing, Barrier decided to go ahead with the debate and even sweeten the pot by offering to pay my round-trip airfare from Los Angeles to Orlando.
I'm sorry, man. This is a little far-fetched. So you're saying he pulled out of the debate and then he got into the debate again? I don't know. He literally, lies for a living, Ray Comfort does, so be suspicious. It's not quite as bad as Kent Hovind in the lying department, but he does lie for a living, so...
I'd been crossing swords with atheists since the early 1980s in a speaker's corner back in my home country of New Zealand. This particular day was special because it was the day I was leaving with my family to live in the United States. It was my last day after 12 years of almost daily preaching the gospel. It was there that I regularly used a Coke can and a banana to parody atheism. The man in front of me yelling was Steve, an angry atheist who day after day for years tried to stop the crowd from hearing what I was saying. He was
like, I don't think anybody wants to stop the crowd from hearing what you're saying. I think he's protesting. That's not the same as trying to stop you. He's using his speech on your speech. Him using his speech is not him censoring you. And an angry atheist, huh? Everybody who is opposed to you is always an angry atheist, right? Okay, got it.
very unreasonable and would do everything he could to mock me and make me look foolish.
He doesn't have to do jack for that. You do that yourself.
This is another speaker called The Wizard, who also opposed the gospel, but despite that, we were good friends.
Well done for all those here.
During the 12 years in Speaker's Corner, I collated apologetical arguments in the front of my Bible. When I suggested publishing these in a special Bible to one of my publishers, they loved the idea. And so my pregnant Bible gave birth to the Evidence Bible.
Dude, that's a horrifying analogy.
Keep that in mind because it's relevant to the Banana Man's story. On this day in Florida, even though nobody's opposing me, I'm a little nervous. It's because I'm about to do that same Coke can and banana parody that makes fun of atheism, and I'm not sure if I can get my listeners to crack a smile.
It's not making fun of atheism. It was the stupidest fucking I have ever heard my entire life. I'm not like offended by it. Literally nobody is offended by it. We all think you're a fucking moron is the problem for that.
This is because atheists don't think of their beliefs as being ridiculous and therefore worthy of ridicule. Up until that time, I'd been doing the banana routine for about 20 years.
Millions of years ago, there was this massive explosion in
Dude, this video is all over the place. Like, are you going to cover the 2001 American Atheist Conference or not?
space. Nobody knows what caused the explosion. It just happened.
And over those 20 years, I'd always got a laugh from Christians as soon as I produced the banana.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare. Now over millions of
But this was going to be different.
a little bit of red paint fell from
Here's the beginning and the ending of the parody at the Atheist Convention.
It's not supposed to be a parody, right? It's supposed to be an analogy. You're giving us the watchmaker's analogy. You come across a watch on the beach, and you don't assume that it fell from the sky. You assume it had a designer, because watches are designed. But the analogy is summed up cleanly in the puddle analogy by Douglas Adams, I believe, writer of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It basically says, from the perspective of a puddle, this is an interesting hole I find myself in. It fits me quite neatly, almost like it was designed for me. It's like things appear to be designed, but we have no reason to think that they were designed. We can look at a watch and look at the parts on them and call the parts manufacturers and, call the spring manufacturers and look at what kind of paint was used and things like that. The design elements are obvious for a watch, but we literally can look at the history of the banana through fossils and genetics and all kinds of different things and see the progression from what it was to what it is. And we don't need a designer to understand that, or the banana did not require a designer to get from where it was to where it is today. That's the issue. It's that you don't understand the first thing about how this works. And that is made evident by your analogy, your piss poor analogy.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you
Dude, that banana's looking a little bit rough over there, Ray.
study a well-made banana, of which this is, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side 3 grooves, on the close side.
Not gonna do it. I am not gonna make this sexual. I refuse to stoop that low. I will not.
2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. There's outward indicators of inward contents. Green, too early. Yellow, just right. Black, too late. Now, if you go to the top...
There was a little laughter, but it may have been cynical, which is understandable.
Wait, so that was the American Atheist Conference?
Here is a Christian audience in England in the same year.
Older can may have come from. Billions of years ago, there was a big bang in space. Nobody knows what caused the Big Bang, it just happened. And from the Big Bang issued this huge rock. And on top of the rock was found a sweet, bubbly substance. And over millions of years, aluminum crept up the side and formed itself into a can, a lid, and then a tab.
But that's not what happened at all. Like, even in the analogy, if you carry the analogy over to humanity or even to bananas or whatever, that's not how things progressed. You're ignoring the generational factor here, the offspring factor. You're ignoring the fact that to make these little changes, living organisms, as opposed to like inanimate objects, have to reproduce and have offspring, which have genetic mutations and variation between generations. This is a very basic concept that nearly everybody understands. At least I would like to think most people understand if they've gone through, like, you know, regular American education or at the very least, like European education or whatever. I would like to think that they understand the very basics of evolution. But Ray Comfort, despite being entrenched in this subject for 30 plus years, still doesn't seem to understand the basics of this.
And then millions of years later, red paint, white paint, just a little bit of green paint, fell from the sky and formed itself in the words Coca-Cola. 12 fluid ounces. Do not litter. Say, man, what are you doing? You're insulting my intellect. And so I am. You know, if the Coca-Cola can is made, there must be a maker. If it's designed, there must be a designer.
Yeah, watchmaker fallacy. It's absurd.
Behold the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges, on the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the
Not gonna do it, guys. I refuse. I won't do it.
far side 3 grooves, close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made, one for the other. You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with a non-slip surface. It has outward indicators of inward contents: green, too early; yellow, just right; black, too late.
Okay, so he's making it like a comedy routine now. That's what this is. This is a comedy bit.
Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find the maker, as with the Coca-Cola can makers, has placed a tab at the top for ease of entry. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations, like your pad paper. It usually has 4 perforations. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice the...
Dude, did he just fucking lip smack his fingers? That was awful. Why would you do that, Ray? Jesus fucking Christ. Have some dignity.
It sits over the human hand.
Oh, don't do that, Ray.
Notice the pointed top for ease of entry. Just the right shape for the human mouth.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna make a joke out of this. He's forcing me to, but I will not.
Chewy, palatable, good for you. And the maker has even curved it toward the face to make the whole process so much easier. That's if you get it the right way around.
Yeah, the way that he framed it, the way he presented it in this is not how he framed and presented it at American Atheists. This was very clearly a comedy bit that he was doing in this. It was not a comedy bit in the first video that we watched. It was him stating something.
There are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made, one for the other.
That he was stating it factually in the other one, and very clearly making a comedy routine out of it. This one.
Of course, if you give one of these to a chimpanzee that hasn't got the sense to use the tab, they all go like that, open this end.
They do. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. They open it from the other side, oftentimes.
Entirely disproving Darwin's theory tale of evolution.
I'm not sure how that disproves anything.
In 2001, the actor Kirk Cameron heard one of my sermons, a teaching called Hell's Best Kept Secret, which resulted in us combining ministries. It was now 2003, and Kirk and I were about to film an episode on the subject of atheism for season 1 of our television program. When I told him I'd like to do the banana routine, he was concerned that atheists would mock me for it.
Dude, I should totally watch that episode. I should get that whole episode and watch it. Let me see if I can find that real fast, actually. Wait, what do the comments say? Atheism is something strange. Not even the demons came to that point. Dear Ray, one day you'll be able to see all the people who God has reached through your faithful witness. God bless you. Imagine going to heaven and finally seeing Jesus' face, and he says to you, "Good job, my good and faithful servant," or should I say banana man, a laughing emoji. Wow, this man is truly going to be great in heaven, and it's an honor and privilege to have him living now on earth during the same time as me. He's the closest thing to an apostle we have today, and his reward will not be far off. What a psychotic thing to say, dude. All right, see if I can find that in just a second. But all right, I can't find it at this moment. I just want to make a note so I can circle back around to it. Let's continue for now.
My thought was that it was for Christian television, and atheists wouldn't even get to see it.
Yeah, I did. I used to be a devout atheist. And that sounds a little strange, but
He was not a devout atheist. There's no such thing as a devout atheist. My God, dude.
committed to my belief that God didn't exist.
Despite his concern, he was very gracious, and we filmed it anyway.
Hold this, Kirk. Behold the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top. So God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll
It
find
was a bit flat without a live audience, but it was no big deal.
Okay, you absolutely could have made this a comedy routine. It was not a comedy routine. You can't convince me that you treated this like a comedy routine. That I saw the single episode that he showed was a comedy bit. But either way, it's absurd. People weren't mocking you because it was flat or was supposed to be a comedy routine, but it didn't come across well. It was a stupid fucking analogy that makes no sense at all. We created the banana in its current form, okay? We guided its evolutionary process to what it is today. Normal bananas look like pears almost, like they're short, fat, round things, and they taste like with seeds all through them. These are special, these are bananas that we designed to be like this. I just created a new website, firesidewatch.com. You can watch videos with friends, and everybody can play or pause the video. I made it so I could collaborate with other YouTubers, but I figured I might as well make it available to everybody. On top of that, you can add videos to the queue, upvote them, and sort by most upvoted. Give it a look, firesidewatch.com. And while you're at it, check out my Patreon, owenmorgan.com/Patreon. You can follow me there for free.
We put it into our program and never gave it a second thought. 3 years had passed. Our television program was now in its third season, was award-winning, and it was airing in 170 countries.
Prayer is the line of communication.
It was popular because it was unique for Christian television.
Imagine that constant light.
Hey,
I love that their logo, right there, their logo says Mark 16:15 when that verse isn't even in the Bible. That was added later and then removed from most Bibles because it's not in the original manuscript. It was added by monks after the fact. And it's basically a verse that says you should go out to all the world preaching and so on and so forth. There are other verses to back that up, but I find it interesting that they use a fake verse as the basis for their whole ministry.
hey, I thought you told me this was a private beach.
They're building a high-rise.
Doesn't sound like construction to me.
Okay, it's so cheesy. It's so bad, dude.
Death can come when you're least expecting it. You can get up, Ray. It's just a flesh wound.
It's so bad.
Things were humming until I was told that the banana parody was all over the internet. I couldn't understand why it would be, but I soon found out. Someone had captured it from our television program, removed the Coke can portion so that the parody didn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, it was because they removed part of it. Yeah, they removed the Coke can part. That checks out. Not that it doesn't have anything to do with God. Not that we created the fucking banana in its current form. It's not that your analogy doesn't make any sense at all. It's everyone else's fault. Right, okay.
Then he said that the original banana wasn't that shape and that it had been genetically altered to fit the human hand. It even produced a motion graphic in an effort to convince people that it had nothing to do with God making it for mankind.
That's true. That's factual. That's what an original banana looks like, roughly.
The clip without the Coke can made me look really dumb.
Well, you did that yourself, Ray.
But it was just another bump in the road, or so I thought. The issue exploded when the world's most famous atheist, Professor Richard Dawkins, mockingly did the banana routine during a television interview.
Beautifully designed, like it fits neatly into the hand.
Right.
It's got a tab at the top for ease of opening. So it doesn't squirt in your face. Mm-hmm. And then he says, and it's exactly the right shape. It's curved towards the face for ease of eating.
Yeah, seriously, you made a fool of yourself, Ray.
And it's color-coded, green too early, black too late, yellow just...
And while addressing university students.
Ray Comfort is a New Zealander living in the United States somewhere. You may know him as the banana man. If you study a well-made banana, you'll find that it perfectly fits the human hand as a tab at top for ease of opening.
It's an absurd video. Seriously.
Kirk's wise words of warning came back to haunt me.
Hey, PZ Myers. I forgot about him. You know, I went through an an anti-SJW phase long ago. It was like an anti-woke phase of 2014 or something. When I got into the atheist community originally, I was kind of into the anti-SJW stuff a bit. And PZ Myers was like very disliked by anti-SJWs. And as a result, disliked by me. But maybe I should revisit the guy. I don't know. Because he was like an SJW, quote unquote. I should probably reanalyze all that, right? I haven't heard about him since then.
It's kind of unfair of me because Ray Comfort is probably the very bottom of the creationist barrel. He's the worst of the bunch.
You study a well-made banana, you'll notice.
So when I say Ray Comfort is really, really stupid, I'm saying something.
I don't think it's about stupidity, honestly, with Ray Comfort. I really don't. I think Ray Comfort is intentionally refusing to see reality for what it is. Like, he has all of the facts and information in front of him and has intentionally chosen to reject the facts and evidence.
Say things I didn't say.
I bet. That's something that Ray Comfort actually does do. He edits videos to make people say things they didn't say. And he's accusing other people of doing that. I mean, you know, it was a big phenomenon, so I'm sure somebody probably did. But he's going to cherry pick those people, right? At best. Is he even going to give us an example of that? No, he's not. I mean, what case could he possibly be referring to? We don't have to make it up about you, Ray. You said it yourself. You made a fool of yourself.
Facebook page became inundated by thousands of atheists and became almost impossible to moderate.
Hey, it's Hemant Mehta. Awesome.
Behold, the Christian's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find it's a consequence of evolution.
The day after, I interviewed outspoken atheist.
Damn, dude, this is a blast from the past. The atheist experience is in here and everything. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, Ray, you made a fool of yourself and it was your fault. That's the bottom line. You can't dance around that. That's just what it is. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. I would like to watch this whole thing. If you want to see it, you can check it out on my Owen Unfiltered YouTube channel. I'll go through it beginning to end.